The Apple Watch Series 6, I have to admit, this was somewhat of a challenging video to create, especially if you're upgrading from the Series 5. And between these two Apple Watches, honestly, there's no real need to update or upgrade from the 5 to the 6. Now, if you're coming from an older model, then yes, there's a high possibility you may be interested in upgrading from that generation to the latest Series 6 Apple Watch. Or you can meet down in the middle with the SE. Stay tuned for that future review video. But we're just gonna go ahead and review the Series 6 as it is. So as I previously mentioned, I upgraded from the 5 to the 6. And between these two, honestly, there's not much to really say in terms of enhancements. Yes, it is claimed that it did receive a brighter display, which in a normal environment, it's really hard to tell the two screens apart. The only time it's really noticeable that the screen is significantly brighter is when the always-on display hardware turns on, which I do like the look of the Series 6 with that new brighter always-on display. It is a lot more easier to see the hands and just overall makes the Apple Watch look more luxurious, if that makes sense. Now, other awesome new innovation is the new color choices available for the more affordable aluminum body. Yes, you still have your Nike version, which that used to be my go-to standard when it comes to buying a new generation Apple Watch. I always preferred going with the Nike edition of that Apple Watch because with the Nike edition, it's the same exact cost as the aluminum one. And since I always bought my Apple Watch in space gray, it's a no-brainer because it comes included with all the standard watch faces that's found on the standard Apple Watch, but you get additional exclusive Nike watch faces. Just gives you more choices to really personalize your device, as well as some sporty Nike watch bands. And the Loop one, in case you forgot, has a reflective yarn, which is perfect for outdoor runners to make you easily visible for oncoming traffic. So the Apple Watch that I'm personally rocking is that new midnight blue color option, and there also is a product red. Besides that, the aluminum bodies color choices is exactly the same like how it was with the Series 5. Yes, there is new titanium colors as well and the new gold stainless steel choice, but I'm pretty confident a lot of people are just gonna go for the aluminum body. Now, just like any ordinary newer generation Apple Watch, Apple Watches, in my opinion, are the best smartwatches available in the market, especially the Series 6, as it now has more health tracking features like the new blood oxygen sensor, which if you look in the back here, you could easily tell that the Series 6 definitely is loaded with more sensors. So now you not only have a second generation heart rate sensor, it has the ECG hardware capabilities, and now it has the new blood oxygen sensor, which uses unique UV lighting that allow light to reflect to your blood cells, and it like uses the light that reflects back to the watch, and that is how it's basically able to calculate and give you your blood oxygen percentage. Now, this isn't like medical grade or anything like that, so it's not 100% accurate as of yet. Maybe this hardware could be improved as it could easily become certified later on, but nonetheless, this new hardware should give you an estimate on your current health condition. Now, just like the heart rate monitoring sensor, the blood oxygen level will also randomly monitor your blood level throughout the entire day. We'll log in all that information on the app. It will display it right here, the last time it took your reading, as well as send that data to your fitness app on your iPhone. So yeah, all the major upgrades are slightly minor if you're comparing it against the Series 5. Oh, and let us not forget, the Series 6 also charges a little bit faster when you put it on a charging dock. But from my personal experience, I haven't really noticed any dramatic differences in charging speed. Now, internally, it still has the same standard 32 gigabytes storage capacity, which in my opinion is more than enough, especially for future updates and future applications. But the processor inside, it is using finally the next generation processor for the Apple Watch, the S6, which I have noticed is slightly faster in terms of launching apps, especially when you boot up the Apple Watch for the first time. There is a significant noticeable difference. But if the watch is already turned on, it's literally like half a second faster compared to the Series 5 when you're launching applications. Then internally, it does have a U1 chip, which is the same chip that's found on iPhones. And if leaks are true about this U1 chip, this will also take advantage of AirTiles that Apple has been working on, which is like a Tile knockoff, like little small trackers that you could like track your lost devices. Well, the Apple Watch already has this hardware built into it, which the latest Apple Watch SE doesn't have, but the Series 6 does. So there's more support for future upcoming updates on the Series 6. Force Touch was removed for the Series 6. Actually, it got removed across all the other Apple Watches as well that support watchOS 7. But the hardware of Force Touch has been officially removed on the Series 6. So RIP Force Touch. But with the removal of Force Touch, this really created some inconvenience in terms of shortcuts on the Apple Watch, as now it seems like there's additional steps to do certain things, like change the grid view to list. Before you were just able to force touch, well, now that's gone. It's really watchOS 7 that made the Apple Watch even better, because if I go back to my Series 5, literally it has all the important features. Yeah, you do lose the blood oxygen sensor, but depending on your age, like this really isn't a critical feature. Now, if you have health complications, yes, I could definitely see this becoming a very useful tool for you to give you rough estimates. Again, it's not medical grade, but will give you an idea of your overall health. Or if you're just older and you want a device that can monitor everything for you and send notifications in case it notices something weird that lets you know on time that you should probably see someone and get this looked at professionally. But some of those older models, like the Series 4, 5, and of course the SE and the 6, they have the one important stuff, and that's not just the heart rate sensor, but the fall detection. So in case you ever injure yourself on a fall and you're unresponsive, the Apple Watch will be able to automatically detect that and get a hold of your emergency contact and emergency dispatchers to your exact location. Now, with the release of watchOS 7, you have all the new amazing watch faces to choose from. Honestly, there's so many now that I really don't know which one to choose. So I like to keep things minimum. So my favorite new watch face is the Meridian, although this was originally added on the last OS. But I think this design matches really well, especially when always on display kicks in. Again, it just gives it a nice futuristic, luxurious look, especially when you combo that with a leather band like how I have, which I'll have a link in the description in case you're wondering what band I'm using on my personal device. Now, in terms of phone call quality, exactly the same like the Series 4 and the Series 5 in my personal opinion. Bluetooth connectivity, Bluetooth 5. AirPods Pro connect in a matter of seconds, just fine. Can also use that to answer phone calls. I'm able to control the transparency mode or the active noise cancellation from the Apple Watch or with the earbuds themselves. And the hands-free Siri function works extremely well as the auto workout detection, which I love personally using because I'm too lazy to usually remember to start a workout manually on the Apple Watch. The hardware that's inside with the gyroscope and all that stuff is smart enough to detect the type of workout you're doing. So if you're doing an outdoor run or you're on the elliptical at a gym, based off the movement, the watch is smart enough to detect and will notify you if you like to log in this exercise. And once you're done working out, it'll estimate all the calories burned, step taken, and all that good stuff to let you know if you reach your calorie burn for the day. That hardware alone is the reason why I still consider the Apple Watch to be the ultimate fitness tracker in terms of smartwatches available in the market. Hand washing detection is also really awesome. It's disabled by default, but if you enable this, based off the movement, just like the auto workout detection, this smartwatch is smart enough to identify the motion to know if you're watching your hand and will automatically start a 20-second timer. This feature isn't exclusive on the Series 6, but it does have this in case you're upgrading from an Apple Watch that doesn't support this, like a Series 3 or older. Now, sleep tracking was also innovated on the Series 6. In my opinion, it works really well. A couple of times where I actually fell asleep with the Apple Watch, I usually have to switch it to this loop band. It's more comfortable in my opinion. I especially like the fact that the Apple Watch can actually send haptic vibrations on your wrist to help wake you up when your timer goes off. This is great if you sleep with your spouse, so you don't have to accidentally wake them up when you have to go to work or get up in the morning. Now, family setup is a feature available for the Series 6 Apple Watch or any other Apple Watch that's running the latest firmware update, watchOS 7. So the Series 3, 4, 5 are all compatible, including the SE. And what basically this allows you to do is keep track of what your kids are doing. You could contact them, you can make sure they're at school, and the user experience for the child is identical to a regular Apple Watch. It's not really that limited. Yes, you can set certain time schedules to limit certain apps, and all that stuff. But based from everything that I've been reading online, this works really well. A lot better than those giant chunky kid tracking smart wearables that Verizon used to sell and such. And I would imagine this works really well with the Apple Watch SE, as basically that's a Series 4 but with new internal components. And even if you get the LTE version, it still is a lot cheaper than the base model Series 6 Apple Watch. There's so much more you could do with the family setup, so stay tuned because I plan on doing a full dedicated video about that in the near future. Same 50-meter water resistant rating like all the other standard flagship Apple Watches. And the body does seem to be slightly thinner apparently, which is great because if you own older similar style body design Apple Watches like the Series 4 and such, all your old accessories will still be fully supported, including the bands on the latest Series 6 Apple Watch. So yeah, only thing you gotta really know if you're considering about upgrading from the Series 5 to the 6, all you really are getting is a brighter always on display, then I guess the blood oxygen level, but that's practically it. And yeah, the fast charging I guess, but the fast charging probably is only like a minute or two faster, because at the end of the day I noticed that the battery life it's extremely similar to like how I was with the Series 5. I'm usually left with the same amount of percentage at the end of my night, so really there wasn't any noticeable battery improvement. Maybe if you turn off the always on display hardware, you might be able to squeeze a little bit more extra juice. But besides that, just like any ordinary recent generation Apple Watches, it still is an amazing smartwatch that is currently available in the market. So I highly recommend an Apple Watch if you have an iOS device, especially if your goal is just to track your calories and such and your workouts. But you see why this video was kind of challenging for me to make a full dedicated review about the Series 6 Apple Watch, because it's good and all, but the Series 5, there's really no reason to upgrade unless you really want those new colors, I guess. Because again, I think the SE is still the best value. We all have different backgrounds. If you literally are sitting on piles of money, obviously the Series 6 is the more luxurious option, especially with the unique material choices to choose from. So that may be the best one for you. Or maybe you're somebody who's elderly, who's known to have medical problems, and you want the best of the best in terms of monitoring your overall health on a daily basis, all automatically, the Series 6. But if you're young and you don't really need these type of monitoring sensors, the SE is still perfectly fine. So stay tuned for the SE upcoming dedicated review video. So in the meantime, if you'd like to see more Apple Watch stuff, maybe you just recently bought it, check out this video over here as I go through my favorite settings to enable to unlock some new unique features which you may have not known existed. And then this video over here, that's just a video that YouTube is recommending specifically for you. Feel free to watch either or. Again, thanks so much for watching, take care, and I'll catch you all in the next one. See ya.